Hello, welcome back to the vlog. Many thanks for all the best wishes regarding my attack by a bee. Now, the next day, the back of my head really inflamed and the whole thing felt quite tight. But today now, the pain is gone and there's just a little bit of a lump there. So I think in the next 24 hours, it should be gone and everything will be back to normal. Very hot day today inside the house. The highest it has got is 24.4 Celsius, which is, what's that, nearly 76 Fahrenheit. I've just had a parcel being delivered, something else for the homestead, and it's a water butt. And obviously I'll be needing this in Wales to collect all the rainwater. But one thing I can't get over is, when I started gardening back in the late 80s, the 90s, a water butt of this size would cost about £20. This one cost me £65. It's exactly the same thing. So it's quite a big one. If I could get it out, I would show you. There you go, that's the size of it. I won't bring it out completely. The only reason why it might have been a bit more expensive than I thought is because inside there is the base. It's all about the base, as the song says. Oh, I can't reach down there. But the base is there, and also the gubbins to go from the shed roof or the greenhouse roof into the water butt. What I find interesting is they have a device here for you to lock it. Right, it's time for a cup of tea because the time is now 4 o'clock. So I've also bought a 6-foot table folding. I bought 2 of them, one for in the shed and one for being outside. And then I got a knock on the door and there was a delivery man there, and he said to me, "You've ordered them, you can come and help carry them." I thought, what's he on about? And they are a set of dumbbells, but these ones are magic. You can lift it out. That's 2.5 grams there. You know, you can do the weights. Pop them back in. And you can slide this part on the side. And we'll do this side as well to get it even. Put that onto 8. And then when you lift it, it pulls out the weight that you've asked for. See, it's got a little thing in there where you can just slot it in. So rather than having a set of 5 or 6 different weights, you just buy one set and you turn it to whatever you want. And I think that is magical. What's the weather where you are like at the moment? Here it is quite warm. And at 10 to 4 I was awake because of the heat. And then couldn't get back to sleep then for a few hours, hence why I'm feeling exhausted. I've had a bit of post, and I've had this one here I wanted to show you. It's from Lorraine, and this has come all the way from New Zealand, and she made the card herself. It's time for a cup of tea. Beautiful, with a picture of Rusty there. So thank you very much, Lorraine, for that. And she also sent some magnets through of somewhere in New Zealand, so I think we're going to have to go on this side. And also some, I think, Maori artwork. If I'm correct, I will show you now. There you go. So we'll pop that up there. And there's another one as well. Oh, they've got very strong glue down in New Zealand. Thank you very much for those. Pop them there. I was thinking, going forward, and what you think to this idea, about maybe having a post bag 1 day a week. So store everything up just for 1 day a week. Now, this doesn't have a note with it. But that doesn't mean that one wasn't sent. It could have just been mislaid because I opened these a few days ago. So I've got this bag here, which I think is something for the shed. Oh no, I remember now. There was a note. So apologies for not having the note in front of me. But this was a bag that was sent in order to put all your other plastic bags in. So I will find a space for that and put that somewhere. I don't think I need the hook because I can just attach it to the side of the cupboard. And also we have a Northumberland magnet. Yes, I'm feeling a bit out of sorts today because of this heat and getting over this sting. Now I had a gift from Julie, which I've already used one of it. That is to core out an apple. I used that yesterday. And this one reminded me of childhood. Now, did you have one of these? When you made your eggs, did you then cut your eggs up into small pieces? Well, I can do that again because I've got one of these egg cutters. So I will do that for when I make my sandwiches, because I'm thinking about when the heat subsides, I'm thinking about taking you on a little bike ride to the top of the mountain where it's nice and cool. So that will be coming soon. So those eggs, that egg cutter will come in very handy to make some egg sandwiches. We have a book here from Sue, which is some Mediterranean dishes. Thank you very much, Sue. I'm going to have to start, and thank you very much to Julie for those as well. I'm going to have to start putting a bookshelf for my books. I've just turned over to tomato and basil granita. Now, I remember making a granita many years ago from strawberries, so maybe I'll do that again. I also want to go out and pick some wimberries because they're in season now, which is, it's a bit like a blueberry. So we'll go and do that in a few days. Now, to Pat and Andy, they've sent a Norfolk Coast. We'll have to do a little review in a few weeks to see which place is the most represented. So we'll pop that one there as well. And what else do we have? Oh, we've got two more. They're coming in thick and fast now. Now this is from Sam, who's in Manchester. And I lived in Manchester for a long while and absolutely loved it there. And she sent a magnet, and she bought this from outside, from the shop that is next door to the post box that got blown up. There was a post box and a bomb was placed by the side of it, and Manchester got hit in the 90s, I think it was. And I spent many a good time in Manchester, and one day I'll sit down and I'll give you the chat. I lived in a place called Miles Platin. I went there to go and work in the Commonwealth Games, and then ended up going to university, but I'll keep that for another day. And then this parcel has come in this morning, and this is from, let's have a look. This is right, there's no name on that. Taya, Taya, from Hastings. And we have Bexley-on-Sea. No, John Rogers. He did a video where he was walking, I think, on Bexley-on-Sea. We've got Bexley-on-Sea, East Sussex, and Hastings, East Sussex. So we'll pop them over here, I think. There we go. And what I'm going to do in time is because my list of things to do is getting long. The trees need to be planted. I went down this morning to water them. I've put them in the places where I think they're going to live. I've just bought a 6-foot panel of trellis, so that's coming next week. That's for the rows to go up. So there's a lot of stuff going on. And I forgot now why I've started to say that. Oh yes, so one of the things I want to do is I want to take down the whiteboard. I had this whiteboard from the allotment in London. I want to take that because that has a magnetic element to it. So I can put them onto the thing in the shed. You know what I mean, don't you? I went to go and see Old Farmer today to go and collect my eggs, and I've had to say I'm not coming next week because I've got too many eggs. I just can't eat the eggs fast enough to get this amount of stock that I've got down. So if the war was to kick off tomorrow, I've got enough eggs to see me through. Right, I'm going to make a cup of tea, and I'm going to take you out and show you my flowers. Just before we do that, an update on the milk situation. I bought too much milk the last time, so I've put them in here. But they turned a bit yellow. And you know what your grandmother always used to say? Don't eat yellow snow. So I'm going to pull one out and put it on the side because I think I'm running a bit short. And in this heat, I wouldn't be surprised if it'll be defrosted within the hour. So I will just put it there. And I read on the comments that a bit of water will come off the side, so that's fine. It's in the sink, and then it's in this thing, and then the water can just drain off into the sink. So we'll see what happens. So here they are. I wanted to give you an update for you to have a look at the flowers in my troughs outside the window. And this one here, the buds look as if they're only a few days away. That could be antirrhinums if I remember correctly. And the lobelia, which is the variety Crystal Palace, it glows in the dark. But I love these, I forget the name of these ones now, but they remind me as if they should be by the side of a pond. I get the feeling that they're a bit of a bog plant. Oh, and these daisies are absolutely wonderful. So something else I want to take down to the homestead soon is the gate. But I haven't decided yet the best place to put it. I don't know whether to put it as an actual gate that will open and close to get you somewhere, or whether to put it in the flower border as a feature. I haven't decided yet. Maybe you've got a view. Tell me below. Right, let's go and have this cup of tea, because you know what they say? A cup of tea cools you down. Apparently there's been comments about how can he drink tea with a spoon in there. It's because I leave the tea bag in and the spoon keeps the tea bag down. I think sometimes you can be a bit too cautious in life. I'm in the study and it's quite nice to be in here because even though it is hot and the sun is on the front of the house, this room is quite cool. So it's nice to be in here, just having a relax. The cats are upstairs and they're sleeping in the windows in the front of the house. They're getting really hot, they are. And then about 8 o'clock they'll come down and then go and play in the garden. But we're getting to that point now where they like to be in the garden when it gets dark, which I think they've only spent about 10 minutes in the dark here, and I call them in just to be on the safe side, because you never know. They might go and explore, and there's a lot of people disappearing at the moment when they go off to explore, so it's best to stay in your own territory. Oh, I think I might have a cold bath next to cool me down even more. Well, we're coming to the end of June, July next week, and I saw on Instagram people are already Instagramming things like it's only so many days to Christmas. It's like, let's just chill out till September, then we'll start counting. Another delivery that came the other day, I can just see the box on the other side of the room, is a Juneberry. It turned up the other day and it's a very good specimen. It was quite expensive. It came from Roots and Roots Plants. On Instagram as Roots Plants UK. But I wanted something of a big size, and it turned up and it had berries on there. So I know it as a June berry. It's known as various different names, and I think it originates from Canada. And it's a beautiful tree because I've grown it in the past. It starts off with white flowers, then it turns to berries, which you can eat, which, if I remember correctly, they taste of marzipan. And then in the autumn, it turns into bright orange leaves. So it's a very good plant. So I'm going to decide where it's going to go next time I go down. I did go down yesterday to the homestead, and I put the plants in certain positions all over the garden, and I like to leave it for a few days and then go back and see whether that makes sense, or whether that tree, because I did put one of the plums in a place which I thought was good. And then when I went back this morning, I thought, no, I'm going to move that and put that on the other side because it might cast a bit too much shade. Just spending a nice relaxed evening working out where things could be planted. There's the plum there. There's the Acer Orange Dreams. And at the moment, the June berry is just outside the door. I like to just put the plants out and leave them for a few days and see how I feel about them. So the garden, if we can get, I also heard on Instagram this morning, somebody sent me a DM to say that cold weather is coming back next week. So if that is correct, then hopefully 24 hours of hard labour on the homestead, I can get all the plants in. And then what am I going to do once the plants are in? I was thinking about starting to build the greenhouse. But the greenhouse is not really going to be used until October, November time. So I could hold off for a few months and do something else. I want to get a row of... Now it could be too late for runner beans. So what I thought I might do is, I might put one row of runner beans and on the other side do climbing French beans, because I think there's still time to put them in. But yes, feeling slightly overwhelmed with all the tasks that are going on, and also the house is quite busy at the moment. There is a lot of stuff in the house waiting to be transported down to the homestead, which I'm going to try and do tomorrow morning when it's nice and cool before the heat of the day. In fact, hey Siri, what's the temperature for tomorrow?
The high tomorrow will be 15 degrees Celsius and the low will be 10 degrees Celsius.
15 degrees tomorrow, so that's a very nice day because my body does seem to switch off once it gets to 23. So 15 degrees, I'll get up early and start transporting stuff, and then the house will be clear. And a clear house is a clear mind. That's what I always say. So yes, taking it easy today again. So hopefully tomorrow this little lump that I've got will be gone completely. I've put cream on it. I've done all the recommendations that you've put in the comments below, but it's not itching. And it was only itching for about 5 minutes, but I was in the shop yesterday, and when I leant backwards, I could feel that the skin was rather tight. So they had a look at it in the shop and they could tell that it had ballooned up a bit, but now it's going down. So anyway, I thought I'd do a video just to check in, because I know you worry if there isn't a video, especially after something like that bee attack. But everything's alright. I'm just taking it easy for a few days, and hopefully we'll be back on the homestead and also back on the mountain, because I realised the other day I've hardly gone on the mountain in the summer. I looked back at the videos that I made, and there were loads of me going up the mountain during the winter and the spring, but nothing in the summer. And now would be the perfect time. Nice and hot, go and walk in the trees, it'd be nice and cool. But that's the problem with life. Sometimes it gets in the way and stops you from doing what you want to do. And my list is getting longer and longer. I've now got lists to tell me about the other lists. But anyway, I'm going to have a bath, So I'll bid you farewell, and I'll catch up with you in a few days. So from me until then, bye for now, and stay cool. Beautiful.